All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, following their decisive 47-7 victory today over the Detroit Lions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to the postseason for the first time since 2007. Today, the Bucs completely dominated the first half of the contest en route to a 34-0 lead at the intermission. Now, Bucs quarterback Tom Brady didn't even have to play the second half, as in that first half, he was extremely efficient as he was 22 of 27 passing today for 348 yards, 4 touchdown passes, and no interceptions. Now, Detroit's only touchdown today came on a 74-yard punt return by Jamal Agnew in the second half of this contest, while the Lions were limited to just 186 yards today of total offense. And I know that there are going to be some people that are going to say, well, you know what? The Bucs really shouldn't be proud because they beat a 5-win team. And my thing is, credit to the Tampa Bay Bucs for taking care of their business today for several reasons. Number one, they knew what was at stake as far as getting to the postseason. Number two, you want to try to have some momentum going for yourselves heading into the postseason. And number three, let's not forget, the Los Angeles Rams were just a 17-point favorite at home last week against the winless New York Jets. The Rams more than likely are going to end up in the postseason. And what did they do? They went out there and laid an egg at home against a team that hadn't won a contest all season long. And because of that, the Rams more than likely will not even win the NFC West right now. So if you're Tampa Bay, you definitely want to go out there and take care of your business, which is exactly what they did. And I think that's a credit to their head coach in Bruce Arians. Now, you look at this and you say, well, how dangerous can the Bucs be in the postseason? They have 5 losses this season. They were swept by the New Orleans Saints in the regular season, and the Saints have gone on to win the NFC South. We also saw them lose at home to the Kansas City Chiefs. We also saw them lose on the road to the Chicago Bears, and we also saw them lose at home to the Los Angeles Rams. But for the most part, the teams that the Bucs were supposed to beat, they went out there and beat. And at the end of the day, you don't apologize for who's on your record. You go out there, you go take care of your business. But let's not forget, Tampa has had a lot of new personnel this season. And for them to be 10-5 at this point, I think that is a credit to Bruce Arians and his coaching staff. I think what has hurt the Bucs at times this season is they've gotten away from their bread and butter on offense. And I know, and I keep saying this, Tampa has so much talent in their passing game. You look at a veteran quarterback like Tom Brady. You look at the wide receivers like Antonio Brown, like Mike Evans. But at the end of the day, the Bucs ground attack is super, super important to what this club is able to do and is going to be able to do going forward in the postseason. The Rams' loss last week really opened the door for the Bucs. And I say this because I picked the Seahawks to go to whole serve at home tomorrow and defeat the Los Angeles Rams in a huge matchup with the NFC West title on the line. It's a situation where if the Seahawks do whole serve, now the Bucs are ahead of the Rams for that 5th postseason spot, which would be the first wild card spot. And of course, with that said, you would then face the NFC East champion. Now, all signs point to that being the Washington football team right now. Washington is playing some better football, and I know that Tampa cannot overlook them. But if you're Tampa, you definitely want to go on the road and have to face them as opposed to a New Orleans or a Seattle or a Green Bay in the first round. And after the first round, anything can happen. We don't know if these other division champions are going to be able to hold serve at home. So sometimes, you know what? It's not about who you play in the tournament. Sometimes it's more about who you don't play. I think back to 2000 with the New York Giants. They finished with the best record in the NFC, but people weren't sold on them. A lot of people still felt that the St. Louis Rams were the best team in the NFC. The Rams did beat the Giants that year in the regular season, but guess what? The Rams got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs by the New Orleans Saints, and then the Giants didn't have to play them, obviously, and they went ahead and won the NFC Championship that season. So stranger things can happen. I mean, you look at the Bucs, they could play the Saints again for a third time, and let's not forget, it's tough to beat a team twice in a season. It's even tougher to do it 3 times. And especially if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the last time you faced the Saints, you got it handed to you at home thoroughly. So, you know what? It's back to the drawing board and scrap that game plan and see if you could come to grips with a new one. So strange things can happen. You know, the Bucs, they have the ability to go on the road and beat the Green Bay Packers. They also have the ability to go to Lambeau Field and lose to the Green Bay Packers. And we saw the Bucs dominate the Packers at home this season. Tampa could find themselves in the Pacific Northwest playing the Seattle Seahawks. Again, another game that's a winnable game for the Bucs. It's also a losable game. So it's all about getting into the postseason. Anything can happen, but make no mistake about it, I still don't bet against Tom Brady in January. I know that he was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs last year in his final game with the New England Patriots, courtesy of the Tennessee Titans. But this guy's been to 9 Super Bowls. He's won 6. He consistently finds a way to make things happen in January. And even at this point in his career, you can still not write off what the man can do. It was a crisp effort all around, a business-like trip today in every aspect for the Bucs. Brady got 2 touchdown passes to an old friend and tight end Rob Gronkowski. He also got wide receiver Antonio Brown into the mix as well. Wide receiver Mike Evans had a big day with 10 catches for 181 yards. So you look at it right now, and I look at this Bucs team. They've had their struggles at times against some of the better talent in the NFL, so to speak, and you cannot underscore that. You cannot overlook that. But they have the momentum, and anything can happen in January. They're in the tournament right now. It's a good feeling for them. It definitely has to be a good feeling for this franchise and for this organization. So going forward, they're definitely going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. And look out right now, because this team could make some things happen, and definitely they are a team that a lot of other clubs in the NFC definitely will not be lining up to face. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of the subscribers out there, and if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.